The Miami Dolphins, sitting at 3-7, haven't had the season their fans were hoping for. But sometimes, all it takes is one breakout player to shift a team's momentum, and Miami might have just found theirs in cornerback Juju Brents. Now, Brents wasn't drafted by the Dolphins. In fact, he wasn't even signed by them originally. His journey to Miami started when the Indianapolis Colts waived him during final roster cuts in late August. Miami wasted no time. They claimed him off waivers, seeing something special the Colts overlooked. A former second-round pick in the 2023 NFL Draft out of Kansas State, Brents brings the kind of physical traits coaches dream about. 6 feet 3 inches, 200 pounds, with a 4.53 40-yard dash at the combine. Early in his career, he earned a starting role in Indianapolis before injuries slowed him down. Eventually, the Colts decided to move on. But for Miami, that decision turned into an opportunity. And speaking of opportunities, before we go any further, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with your friends. And of course, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Because what happened next deserves your attention. In his first real shot at extended playing time with the Dolphins, Brents absolutely delivered. Coming into last Sunday's matchup against the Buffalo Bills, he had played just 50 snaps all season. Then came his big moment, 52 snaps as the starting boundary corner opposite Jack Jones, and he made the most of every one. Targeted 5 times, Brents allowed only 2 catches for 12 yards. He broke up a key pass over the middle and held opposing quarterbacks to a 47.9 passer rating when throwing his way. But what stood out most? His lockdown coverage on Keon Coleman. Coleman, the 6 feet 3 inches, 215-pound receiver known for winning contested catches and drafted early in the second round by Buffalo, couldn't gain separation all game long. Brents kept him completely bottled up, proving he can hang with physical wideouts at the NFL level. Even Pro Football Focus took notice, grading Brents as one of the top-performing cornerbacks of the week. And that's before Monday Night Football even kicked off. As of Monday, Juju Brents ranks among the top-performing cornerbacks in football. According to Pro Football Focus, he graded out as the 4th best corner in coverage, and that 47.9 passer rating when targeted puts him among the league's elite this week. The message is simple: Brents needs to play. Now, Miami's sitting at 3-7, and while the schedule ahead looks manageable, the Dolphins' focus shouldn't just be about stealing a few late-season wins. At this point, the real mission is about evaluation, figuring out who deserves a spot in this team's long-term plans. This is the time to see what the young talent can really do. Players like Kenneth Grant, Jordan Phillips, and Chop Robinson all need more snaps. These are the guys who could become the foundation for Miami's defense not just this season, but for years to come. That's exactly why Brents needs to keep getting opportunities. He's only 25 years old, a former second-round pick, and he's shown flashes of starter-level ability. Head coach Mike McDaniel even addressed it in his Monday press conference, saying that when players seize their opportunities, they earn more chances to prove themselves. Brents did just that, and he's earned another look. Now, there is one wrinkle. Rasul Douglas, the reason Brents got the start against Buffalo, is expected to return this week when the Dolphins face the Washington Commanders. That creates a tough question for the coaching staff. Where does Juju Brents fit in once everyone's healthy? But here's the bigger picture, and it's something every great NFL franchise understands. The best organizations in the league find ways to develop young, overlooked talent. Whether through the draft, free agency, trades, or even waiver claims, successful teams constantly discover players and mold them into contributors. For Miami, this is that moment. It's time to find out what they truly have in Juju Brents, Jack Jones, and Jordan Phillips. Those young defenders who could become the building blocks of a stronger, more resilient defense in the seasons ahead. That's exactly what great organizations do. They find talent, develop it, and put players in positions to succeed. And that's what makes Juju Brents so fascinating. His combination of size, athleticism, and toughness gives Miami something special on defense. At 6 feet 3 inches and around 200 pounds, Brents isn't just a cover corner. He's a physical presence. He's not afraid to crash down and make plays in the run game, and that was on full display against Buffalo. The Dolphins' front seven did a strong job bottling up James Cook, but what really stood out was how the corners stepped in to finish plays. Brents, Jack Jones, and Minkah Fitzpatrick stepping up and run support, all tackled with confidence and precision. One of the biggest moments came late in the first half. With the Bills driving, Jack Jones forced a fumble, and it was Brents who dove into the pile and came up with the recovery. That play helped preserve Miami's first-half shutout and showed exactly why this young corner deserves more reps. Brents is the kind of player you can build around. His versatility makes him valuable in multiple defensive looks. He can line up outside against big-bodied receivers or slide inside to cover tight ends. On Sunday, he matched up primarily with Keon Coleman and Dalton Kincaid, and both were shut down completely. Kincaid eventually left the game with a hamstring issue, but even before that, neither could create consistent separation. Watching Brents on film, you see it immediately: the fluid movement, the awareness, the size, the confidence. Listed at 6 feet 3 inches, 200 pounds, he even looks bigger and stronger on the field than that. He plays like a veteran, with the hunger of a young player trying to prove he belongs. But here's the challenge. Rasul Douglas is returning this week against the Washington Commanders, and you simply can't keep him off the field. He's been Miami's best corner all season and one of the top-graded players at his position according to Pro Football Focus. So, how do Mike McDaniel and Anthony Weaver manage this cornerback rotation? With Jack Jones, Juju Brents, Rasul Douglas, and rookie Jason Marshall Jr. all fighting for snaps, finding the right balance won't be easy. But if the Dolphins want to keep building for the future, Brents has earned the right to stay in that mix. It's not an easy situation for Miami's coaching staff. Balancing talent and opportunity never is. The Dolphins' cornerback room is crowded, and decisions will have to be made about who truly deserves to be on the field. When Rasul Douglas and Jack Jones return to their starting spots, Juju Brents should absolutely remain part of that rotation. He's earned it. Behind them, you've got Jason Marshall Jr. providing depth and showing signs of potential for the future. But one name that's become a real concern is Ethan Bonner. Look, this isn't personal. Bonner works hard, but the production simply hasn't been there. He's been given chances, and the results haven't matched the standard this defense needs. Against the Buffalo Bills, he came in for just 5 snaps, and Josh Allen wasted no time targeting him. On one of those plays, Allen saw Bonner line up on Keon Coleman and immediately went deep. The result? A 35-yard touchdown. One missed rep, one major breakdown in coverage. That's the margin for error in the NFL, and right now, it's clear Miami can't afford those mistakes. With the current depth chart, there's no reason to keep forcing it. The Dolphins have 4 corners who can contribute: Douglas, Brents, Jones, and Marshall Jr. That should be the core rotation moving forward. If everyone's healthy, Miami doesn't need to activate more than those 4 each week. And above all, Juju Brents cannot be a healthy inactive again. He's shown too much, earned too much, and proven that he belongs in this lineup. If Miami wants to develop young, impactful defenders, sitting one of their most promising corners shouldn't even be an option. The Dolphins might quietly be building something in that secondary, the early pieces of a long-term foundation. Now, let's be real. Juju Brents and Jack Jones might not be your future CB1 and CB2. At least, not yet. That'd be jumping the gun. But both players are showing legitimate promise, and that matters more than people realize. Brents is just 25 years old, and Jones is 27, both on one-year deals. So why not consider bringing them back on short, affordable contracts next season? They've proven capable of stepping up when called upon, and Miami could benefit from keeping that depth intact. Imagine heading into next season with Rasul Douglas as your CB1, Jack Jones and Juju Brents as your reliable rotational corners, and Jason Marshall Jr., the 5th-round rookie, continuing to develop behind them. Add a top draft pick or a solid free agent signing at cornerback, and suddenly, you're looking at a young, fast, and competitive secondary with upside. It's that blend of youth and growth that gives reason for optimism. Just like the defensive front with Kenneth Grant, Chop Robinson, and Jordan Phillips, this cornerback group has the potential to evolve into something special. And if Brents and Jones keep improving week after week, playing strong coverage, tackling with confidence, and holding their own in the run game, it'll prove that Miami already has part of the future in place. It's not just about this season anymore. It's about building for what's next. Watching these young players develop, fight, and grow together. That's how great defenses are built. So yeah, it's tough to think about limiting Rasul Douglas snaps, especially since he's been so consistent. But with this kind of young talent emerging, the Dolphins have every reason to feel excited about what's coming.